A massive scandal is currently taking place here in Colombia as the country's armed forces allegedly committed a massacre in Puerto Leguizamo, the region of Putumayo, in a pretty controversial operation which main goal was to eliminate members of guerrilla groups. So according to different media outlets including Caracol, the armed forces of Colombia declared that they essentially eliminated different members of this terrorist group. However, civil associations on this part of Colombia in the Putumayo region claimed that this was a lie. They claimed that this was essentially a lie, and that the armed forces actually killed 11 innocent people and passed them as guerrilla men. According to Diana Sanchez, who is the main speaker of Colombia's human rights platform, the numerous testimonies that she managed to recollect not only confirms, according to her words, not only confirms that the armed forces killed innocent people, but also that they entered into the village of Puerto Leguizamo in the Putumayo region dressed as guerrillas in order to confuse the people. This is something extremely delicate. And of course, this is not exactly like the easiest thing to inform on this country, given the fact that, well, it isn't undeniable fact that anything could happen here in Colombia. However, we are, of course, reporting everything that happens on this channel. So on this particular issue, the armed forces of Colombia and even the Colombia's defense minister, Diego Molano, and the defense ministry defended the operation. They actually defended the operation, claiming that the 11 people that got killed were actually members of FARC, of the demobilized faction of FARC. I mean, not the demobilized faction, but the faction that basically broke the peace accords. The demobilized faction was the one that actually supported these peace accords and left the weapons away and are currently part of Colombia's legislative branch. In this peace accord, there were members of this terrorist and guerrilla group that decided to remain in arms against the state. So this faction was the one that the defense ministry allegedly was chasing and allegedly killed 11 members and 4 others that got captured by the armed forces, according to the defense ministry of Colombia. So getting to this point, the main question is whether we're talking about another case of a false positive or not. False positive has been one of the most horrible phenomena here in Colombia that basically, it basically means when a member of the military force in Colombia chase members of the guerrilla, or is ordered to chase members of the guerrilla, and instead of doing that, what the person in question does is to kill an innocent people, dress that person as a member of the guerrilla, and on that point provide the corpse of that innocent person dressed as a guerrilla to the nearest commissary and receive a money because of that. Because over the last few years there has been a pretty controversial law which essentially points that every time a member of the military kill a guerrilla member and present the body of the guerrilla member in question to a commissary, that person, the military who killed the guerrilla member, will get a pretty significant amount of money here in Colombia. So what many members of the armed forces has been doing over the last few years has been exactly that, to kill a lot of innocent people, especially poor people, dress them as members of the guerrilla, show the body to the nearest commissary, just as I said before, and receive a lot of money. So it remains unclear whether this thing that happened in the Putumayo region could be another of these cases. It remains unclear. However, the undeniable fact is that this situation once again shows that violence is definitely Colombia's main endemic issue. Reporting from Medellin, Colombia, Luis Orozco, Newsweek.